to Beyond the Mystery. Are you fascinated by the eerie and the unexplained? Do you believe that some stories linger in the shadows, waiting to be uncovered? Join us as we delve into the world of chilling tales and mysterious moments that shape our existence. Three men were fishing in their boat about 16 kilometers off the coast of Brazil when they saw a strange dark spot on the horizon. As they got closer, they saw a small wooden raft on which a man stood, frantically waving his tattered shirt. After being picked up, the haggard Asian-looking man instantly ate whatever was offered to him. He didn't speak a word of Portuguese and could only gesture, but on shore he told his incredible story of how he had survived nearly 5 months in the open ocean. In mid-November 1942, the SS Ben Lomond left Cape Town, South Africa, and set course for the Surinamese port of Paramaribo. 2 weeks later, about 400 kilometers off the coast of South America, the ship was spotted by the German submarine U-172, hunting in the waters of the Atlantic Ocean for Allied ships. The submarine fired 2 torpedoes at the SS Ben Lomond, after which the ship began to sink rapidly, completely submerged in water in a matter of minutes. According to Pan Liang's recollection, he was lucky to have been on deck at the time of the attack and had time to put on his life jacket, which pushed him to the surface after being caught in a funnel formed above the sinking ship. Pan Liang saw the submarine bring aboard 5 survivors, presumably for interrogation. Apparently, the Germans, having obtained all the necessary information from the sailors, put them back in the dinghy and sent them adrift. Nothing more is known about the fate of the crew of the SS Ben Lomond. Pan Liang, who had gone unnoticed, found himself alone in the middle of the ocean. He spent several hours in the water among the oil slicks and wreckage of the ship until he reached a wooden raft with which he had to spend many weeks waiting. Amidst the wreckage, alone in the middle of the ocean, he gathered anything that would help him survive. He fished out a 40-liter barrel of fresh water, several cans of galettes, chocolate, sugar, as well as a couple of flares and an electric torch. This should have been enough for several weeks, but the sailor had no idea how long his journey would be. The SS Ben Lomond had sunk in a relatively busy part of the Atlantic, so Pan Liang had hoped for quick help from passing ships. Alas, fate played tricks on him, and he was indeed discovered several times. Later, he even claimed that the crew of one of the merchant ships could not fail to notice him, but did nothing to save the steward, even though he was screaming with all his might. According to one version, no one wanted to help the man in distress, even when he was spotted by a squadron of U.S. Navy patrol planes, one of which dropped a signal buoy to send help to him. Fate decided to test him further. A violent storm blew in, and Pan Liang was lost in the ocean. A gay I hope no one will ever have to break that record, he said. When he ran out of food, he started fishing, using a wire from a torch as a hook and hemp rope from the raft's rigging instead of line. Using a nail torn from a plank, he built a more serious fishing rod that allowed him to hunt larger prey. As a carving knife, the Chinaman used part of a galette tin and then sliced the fish and dried it in the sun. He also caught seabirds for their blood and meat, which provided some variety and sustenance for his meager diet. The birds also served as bait for small sharks, which he dragged onto the raft by hand and muffled with a keg half filled with seawater. Pan Liang collected drinking water by means of a tent on the raft, which in turn saved him from the scorching sun when there was no rain. He quenched his thirst by sucking blood from a shark's liver, which was rich in nutrients. As time went on, the ocean took pity and brought his raft to the freshwater streams from the mouth of the Amazon, where he was discovered by Brazilian fishermen. He was subsequently granted American citizenship and settled in New York with his fiancée. The incredible story of his struggle to survive in the open ocean is the basis of new survival manuals for the US and British navies. Pan Liang's story was used in the novel The Stars Are My Goal by American science fiction writer Alfred Bester, who began the work by describing the experiences of a man stranded alone in outer space. I hope that no one will ever have to break this record, were the words of the rescued Pan Liang.